Do you need a mortgage? Well, Volunteer Home Mortgage is here for you 7 days a week. Whether you're in Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, or even beyond that, Jerry and her expert team are ready to help you with purchases, refinances, and so much more. Don't wait. Call them today, 865-238-7500, or visit them online at volunteerhomemortgage.com. All right, good morning, my friends. Happy Hump Day. We made it to Wednesday. That's got a nice little ring to it, doesn't it? Feels pretty good outside, much better than what it did yesterday morning, considering that it was quite, a mild cool yesterday, but yesterday evening was cool. Wife and I were at the ballpark last night watching a baseball game at 7:10. Sun went down, and it got chilly outside. We want to start you off first things first this morning with a live look in downtown Clinton here as we get the day started. A nice, quiet, and calm start to the day. Notice a few clouds off the distance. We've got some lower clouds hanging out with us this morning. Not really expecting a lot. We're not all day long anyways. We're going to see increasing sunshine. We do have a lot of wind heading our way. We've got a significant storm heading our way as we get into the middle, into the day today and overnight tonight and through the next couple of days. Not necessarily for us here locally, but out to our west. We're going to highlight that in a lot more detail in just a few minutes as well. I do want to start you off, though, this morning with a check of the TDOT cameras and a live look there at the interstate, and no major issues here to get the morning started. TDOT cameras right now, some of them aren't working. They're kind of going back and forth, but either way you look at it, we do have some quiet and dry conditions here to get the morning started. And listen, it's Hump Day, my friends. Let's say good morning to Ed, shall we?
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shower.
Oh, good old Debbie can take her shower. Well, good morning, Dad. Good morning to you. We've got Julie, Krista, Joanne's joining us this morning this early. Carol and Katrina, Eva, Christy. Good morning, Brian, and Laura, as well as Missy. Good morning, everyone. Sure hope you're having a great day so far. Today, the summertime heat starts to build on. And look at those temperatures yesterday. I always like to check myself with you guys in the morning. Yesterday, we came in below forecasted highs. We only had one model that was actually painting to 62 degrees. Everybody else was in the upper 60s, so I went 67. We only made it to 62. 63 in Crossville, 69 Chattanooga, and 62 also in, in the Tri-Cities area. All right, let's talk about those weather headlines because we got morning clouds, afternoon sunshine. It's going to be warm, breezy, and gusty around the area. Do have a wind advisory in place for the mountains of East Tennessee as well as the Cumberland Plateau. Then we're talking about summer-like heat. A major severe storm breaking out to our west. Incredible amounts of rain expected there as well. For us here in East Tennessee, we do have a risk for severe storms. I'll talk much more about that here in a second. But we're likely not to see a whole lot of activity until Sunday, at which point I think Sunday we'll see heavy rain showers and maybe some strong or severe storms. So when you look at the radar, nothing showing up. You can kind of see the clouds hanging out with us this morning. That's kind of the general idea. Temperatures are hovering in the 40s, 50s. And 60s. It feels much better out there this morning, and we actually are trending a few degrees. It's a lot of degrees warmer. The wind has picked up across the plateau, so Crossville's waking up with a temperature 22 degrees warmer this morning than what they were yesterday. Pigeon Forge, 2 degrees warmer, and also about 4 degrees warmer in the Knoxville area. All right, your severe weather outlook, okay? Just stick with me here for a second. We do have a level 1, level 2 risk for severe storms. Let me just say this. I don't anticipate any thunderstorms, but there's a big but on that. If something were to fire, a lonely thunderstorm, be able to break the cap, and we had a little bit of piece of energy that had really sparked off and provided us that lift in the atmosphere. If a thunderstorm could get going, it would become severe with all modes of severe weather on the table at that point of the game. So we've got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. We've got a lot of instability in the atmosphere, but most of the energy and most of the models are indicating that that's going to stay further to our west, and so I don't anticipate a whole lot of activity. But again, the Storm Prediction Center has kept that percentage, or that they're still painting the picture of us being under a risk for severe storms. So that's something I have to watch out for, but I don't think we really have to watch out for it. So let's go ahead and let's go further into detail. Let me show you our future cast. This is what basically all the models are indicating here. Morning clouds hanging out with us, afternoon sunshine. The winds are going to start to crank out of the south and southwest, upwards of 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to about 30. Some areas maybe close, if not already into wind advisory criteria. Some may be close throughout the day. So it is going to be rather breezy and gusty day. That southerly flow, though, is what's going to really help to warm us up, along with that upper level ridge that's building its way on in. Good morning, Miranda. And we got Billy joining us this morning as well. Good morning, Jerry. And how about Elizabeth this morning? How are you? All right, so rainfall accumulations. Well, obviously, we're not expecting much in the way of rain, so it's not going to paint a picture of any rainfall. So that just kind of tells the other side of the story. Lunchtime temperatures, though, are going to be great, although it's going to be rather breezy and gusty as we get into the lunch hour. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Our goal today is going to be about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. Okay, this is just the beginning. So it's going to be warm. Humidity is going to start to increase a little bit, and that's going to make for a nice, much more comfortable evening tonight if you have ball games and practices. Again, last night it was chilly at the ball field, and unfortunately we got walloped. That kid, the other team was stealing like every base. I don't know. I know that's part of the game, but at this age group, All right, here we go. Summer-like heat builds in the southeastern U.S. A big trough digs across the west coast. The battle zone for heavy rain and severe weather is going to be from the Great Lakes down to Texas and kind of encompassing on the outskirts of that. And that's going to be the pattern as we go through the day today, tonight, and also tomorrow. The low finally starts to kick its way out of the Four Corners in the desert southwest as we get into Saturday. So really not expecting much on Saturday. But as we get into Sunday, that low starts to kick its way even further, and that it starts to lift its way northward, and that's going to bring us the increasing rain chances. So as it stands right now, I'd say Saturday's the best day, Sunday's not the best day. A 50-50 weekend ahead of us. So severe weather outlook, this is across the state. So I want to really highlight this because we do have a lot of folks that do travel back and forth on Interstate 40, whether you're traveling north on 75 or no matter where you may be traveling, if you're traveling westbound, you might want to just hold off a second. Now, if you have to do it, make sure that you pay attention to the weather because most of this is not going to happen during the day today. It's actually going to happen tonight after about 6, 7 o'clock tonight. Well, I'd say 5, 6, or 7 Central Time is basically the time frame on this. So if you happen to have travel plans and you're joining us this morning, hey, keep in mind, you can download the East Tennessee Weather app. It travels wherever you go. Scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of the screen or log on to easttnweather.com or go to your app store and just search East TN Weather, all one word. But again, it's going to notify you of any significant weather moving on in. So when you break this down, let me go back for a second. This is a rare occurrence, by the way, from the Storm Prediction Center. It happens maybe once or twice a year, but we have a high risk. There are only 5 categories with the Storm Prediction Center, and we have all 5 painted across the state of Tennessee, with the bullseye being from Memphis through Dyersburg all the way up to Cape Girardeau in southern Missouri. This is what I'm talking about. You want to pay attention. So I'll walk you through the future cast because, again, it's mostly going to be closer to dinner and sundown time frame for folks in Memphis. And then above and beyond that across parts of Middle Tennessee. So we do have that 5 categories. We've got, look at that. We're breaking down the categories. We've got a 30% probability of strong tornadoes within 25 miles of a given point in that area in purple. Strong tornadoes. Large, long-track tornadoes. Possible across the Mississippi River Valley. Severe hail, yep, looking to see some large hail there. When you look at the bigger risk, it stretches all the way up into Indiana, the Great Lakes, Michigan, down into Texas. But again, for us here in East Tennessee, we have a level 1 risk with the level 2 across the plateau, but that just puts us on the extreme fringe of it. If something were to kind of blast a little bit further past Nashville and get into our area, it would produce severe weather. Just not too confident that none of the models are really hinting at that. So, of course, you want to check back in as we get into the afternoon. Your lunchtime update, I'll have more information. We'll get more model runs, more information coming in to see how the current atmosphere is playing out this morning on how it's going to play out for the rest of the day. So make sure you check in on that noon update. I posted all over East Tennessee weather platforms and also the evening weather update because we'll continue to get more information. And as these storms come in out of the west, it's going to blast its way into Middle Tennessee through the overnight hours. So even for us, it may be overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning if that were to happen. Now, the biggest risk is going to be right there, about 5, 6, 7 o'clock here tonight, right along the Mississippi River from Memphis. I mean, Memphis was unscathed by one of the events that we've already had so far, like everything around them. This may not be the case for folks in Memphis and West Tennessee, Jackson, Dyersburg. Then Nashville. Look at this. This is overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. And again, this is something that we'll have to watch out for. How far south does that cold front or that stalled out front basically sag? If it sags a little bit further south, we may get some severe storms. And realize when the Storm Prediction Center issues a risk, by the way, That's why you probably noticed I had today and tomorrow. It's a 24-hour risk from sunrise this morning till sunrise tomorrow morning. That's their risk. It's not just through the daytime hours. All right, then we continue this trend, and heavy rain's going to continue Friday into Saturday. It's going to continue, and then Saturday into Sunday, it finally makes its big push to East Tennessee. So watch the rainfall really pile up. I mean, this is just today and tomorrow. And then as we continue on into our Friday, more rain there. Heavy rain again continues Saturday into Sunday. Finally get our chance for rain for the most part, our widespread rain anyways, as we get into Sunday. And the heaviest rain, I mean, again, the bullseye anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rainfall can't be ruled out. Somewhere across western Kentucky, southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, Arkansas, and West Tennessee. So I would imagine some major flooding that's going to be taking place. They've got flood watches obviously painted there. All right, forecast high temperatures. We're talking summertime heat. Watch how this colder air stays off to our north and west. High pressure gives us the warm summer-like weather today, tomorrow, Saturday. Sunday will start to cool down because we're going to have rain showers move on in. Sunday into Monday will cool down, and then we're going to cool down even further as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Even further. Look at this 7-day forecast. Near record high temperatures Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to be in the mid to pockets of upper 80s. As we get into Sunday, the rain showers and the clouds will help to cool us down a bit. And then as we get into Monday, Tuesday, look at those colder air swinging its way into the area. And this is a reason why we don't start planting until after tax season. Notice Tuesday, we're down to 31 degrees. It's going to get chilly again. Live look, by the way, for folks joining us from Madisonville, Monroe County. That's KMNV, a nice general aviation airport to get the day started. Nice and quiet here this morning. Good morning, Scott. How are you this morning? Let's see. The important thing comes after, but it does. Well, we just have to watch it. Again, none of the models really indicating that we're going to get much activity. We've got a very unstable atmosphere that's developing, and we actually have a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere. Winds turning to speed and direction with height, plus most of the models indicating we could see 1-inch diameter hail or so if we were to fire up some storms. We just don't have a lot of lift. Now, we may get some lift due to the heat, summertime weather, the mountains and the plateau start to get that air to rise sooner than the valley locations because it gets the sun sooner. So you get those columns of the columns of air to start rising. And so could we see a couple of afternoon showers and thunderstorms across the mountains and across the plateau? Yeah, maybe. And that's the point. Even if we were to get that, if we were to get something to break through the cap and we were to get that extra lift based on heating of the day and we pass the cap in the atmosphere, then we would get explosive thunderstorms. And I talked about that yesterday. Problem is nothing's really indicating that. The atmosphere can be perfectly primed. You can have all the ingredients to bake a cake, but if you don't have an oven, you're not going to get a cake. You just have ingredients. And now you have mixed ingredients that taste really good sometimes on a spoon or a spatula. Just saying. Let's see. We got Debbie joining us. Deb joining us this morning. Carolina and Bermuda High keeps Chattanooga and Atlanta dry. Oh, I like that, Otto. At this age group, stealing is not showing good sportsmanship. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Laura. And they were stealing like all the way to third and even into home plate. I was like, okay, I get it. You can steal, but let's tone it down a little bit for these younger kids who are still learning to catch and pitch and all those things. There you go, Brian. I like Ed Rupp. Good morning, Sharon. How are you this morning? All right. It's 6:15, by the way. So we want to get dancing. Katrina, I beat you to it this morning. I did. Now we'll take you to Hardin Valley here before we check in on those national holidays for the day today. Live look there at Hardin Valley. We've got those overcast skies this morning. Again, we'll have clearing skies throughout the day today. Good morning, Carnes, Oak Ridge, Solway, Hardin Valley. Folks joining us from West Knoxville this morning. And anywhere. Got folks in Georgia, Otto. Got places all over East Tennessee joining us this morning, so I do appreciate that. All right, let's talk about those national holidays. It is April 2nd. So, of course, we're celebrating birthdays and events. Happy birthday to you if you are celebrating a birthday or if you have a big event coming up. Felicia says, lots going on Saturday. I'll be at Marble Springs State Historic Site 10 to 4. Commonplace Coffee and Community has a market 11 to 2. And the art walk is downtown Knoxville. The art walk is already happening. Oh, I love this time of the year. I saw some kids doing some artwork out at one of the schools nearby just yesterday, actually. All right, anyway, so it's National DIY Day. Yeah, I'm going to give a big shout out to that. I'm a big DIYer. I've DIY'd a lot of stuff. I've renovated my first home. I renovated my very first home. Had no idea. I'm a YouTube university right here. I've had help, obviously, over the years. And then when we moved into our current house, I've done something to most of the houses that we've lived in. This house, I gutted a whole bonus room and bathroom and workout room and took it down to the studs and redid everything and redid electrical with some help from some people, electricians anyways. And so, yeah, I've DIY'd. If you're a DIYer, big shout out to you. We used to have some friends, or actually we have some neighbors that live down the street from us that used to have a YouTube channel of DIYing nonstop. All right, let's see. We've got Child Help National Day of Hope. Child Help National Day of Hope. This is awesome. If you don't know anything about this, which we'll find out what more about this is. Child Help National Day of Hope takes place each year during National Child Abuse Prevention Month. This is great stuff. The first Wednesday in April is set aside to ask the country to make a lifelong commitment to join in the fight to end child abuse and neglect. Join that fight. Don't want any of that. I'll just tap into that or tie into that and say elderly abuse as well. Just plain abuse. Let's just be good people, right? Can we all just get along, please? Even if we have different religions and politics and whatever, can we just all not get along? Life just seems so much better when you can just get along with everybody. Wouldn't you say? All right. It is also National Ferret Day. Does anybody have a ferret? And not for me. Not going to have a ferret. It's National Walking Day. Good day to take a walk. It's going to be rather breezy and gusty. If you're a walker, do it in the morning before the wind starts to pick up this afternoon and before the heat starts to build. You're going to feel that heat today and this week. And so if you do typically exercise outside, it's definitely going to be one of those days you're going to be like, okay. It's getting a little bit warmer, isn't it? Scott says, what I'm hearing here is no excuse to delay putting up the folding camper for the week. I am here to winterize it for Tuesday. Shorts and T-shirts for the next couple of days. Next week, we'll be bringing out the winter coats once again. Scott. All right, it's National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. Peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter jelly time. Sorry. Peanut butter and jelly is good for the belly. No, cream cheese and jelly is good for the belly. I'm not a huge fan of peanut butter. I like almond butter much, much better. I will do a peanut butter sandwich only if I'm camping. I rarely will eat a peanut butter sandwich, just go inside and I'm going to slap together a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I will tell you, if you don't know this tip and trick, here's a tip and trick for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You probably already know this, but I'm going to tell you anyways. If you put peanut butter on both sides of the bread and then slap jelly in the middle of the bread because you're packing it into your kid's lunchbox, the bread won't get soggy. I'm here to help you out. The more you know. It's National Reconciliation Day. See if I can get the word right. Reconciliation Day. Let's see what that says, shall we? I mean, I know what reconciliation is. National Reconciliation Day on April 2nd each year urges us to repair relationships we have damaged through words and actions. While many different days of reconciliation are held worldwide, the specific observance takes place on April 2nd. We all know of a relationship where a misunderstanding caused friction, right? We've all been there, done that. Eventually or suddenly, the relationship was destroyed. Time passes, and long before years pass, and not two words have been spoken between two people. They may be siblings or parents or children. Childhood friendships dissolve in an instant over angry words. Friends often immediately regret the cause of a quarrel, but don't know how to start over. This day aims to patch these relationships. Patch a relationship if you can. All right. Those are your national holidays for the day. Today we'll have more, of course. Mañana. We'll have more tomorrow. Where else can we take you? Guess we could take you back out here. Back out to, that's going to be Fox Road Marina this morning. And again, another vantage point of seeing the clouds as we get this good old Wednesday started. Happy hump day. Did you notice the camel? I didn't get yelled at by anybody. I actually put the camel up this morning. By the way, it is 6:22. All right, who made Mother Nature mad, huh? Maybe she needs a Snickers bar. How long does the high risk last for the Dyersburg area grandchildren there? Okay, so David, here's the deal. Great question. This is a great opportunity to share and teach. Okay? Hopefully you have the East Tennessee Weather app. If you don't have the app, download the app, scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. When you open up the app, this is what you will see. But what I want you to say is, since you have grandchildren there, good idea to click on this little plus sign right there at the very top of the app. See, right above or below the city? Click on that right there, and all you have to do here is add location. So if you add that location right there, and then you come in, and you can put their specific address in there, by the way. But let's just put Dyersburg, Tennessee. You've got all these watches and warnings and notifications that you could get weather for just Dyersburg. You save it. It will go to the map. And as long as you allow these notifications, you will be notified, David. You will be notified of any significant weather moving towards your kid's house or your grandkid's house. So this will go for anybody. If you have elderly parents there, same thing. Put in their city. If they're in this big risk level, put in their address, their specific address or an address where they currently are. And you'll get notified with the East Tennessee Weather app of significant weather moving into their area, at which point you could call them and say, hey, listen, in case you're not paying attention right now, you're under a tornado warning. Not a good thing, right? And you'll get watches and warnings and everything else. So that's a great tool and a great question and a great teaching moment. And another teaching moment, once you get out of that, always click on the orange TN in the top left. If you're on any page, you can track these storms with the interactive radar, but just go back to the orange TN in the top left. Click on that, and that takes you back to the home page. But great question and a great teaching moment right there. All right. My son-in-law is from Ghana, and he is ready for summer, LOL. He's been here a little over a year, and he said he's never been so cold in his entire life. That's funny. You didn't know that about the PB&J? Barbara, see? Brian loves it. I mean, a good PB&J on the ski lift, Brian, is always a good PB&J. Happy Wednesday to you, Barbara. See, I've been speaking to Tom at Monroe County Airport. He made sure to speak so highly of you. Aw, thanks. I'm going to go Aiden Wings. Aiden Wings, maybe. I appreciate that, man. I wanted to tell you how much we appreciate the camera you have put up there. My son and I watch you daily for homeschool. Give a big shout out to your son this morning. Don't know his name. If you want to throw his name out, we'll give a big shout out personally. But Aiden Wings, I appreciate that, man. That's what these cameras are for. General aviators just want to go check out some of these live cameras. But you can always check that out. And listen, that's, for anybody. I mean, if you happen to have a vacation home somewhere, you can put in the vacation home into the app itself, and then you can be notified for any sort of weather that's happening at your vacation home. I appreciate you, Julie. David, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Absolutely. I got to teach you all things and tell you how to work things. Otherwise, you're not going to know things, right? Can't know what you don't know until you know it. It's true, though. It is true. Oh, Calvin. Big shout out to Calvin this morning. What's up, buddy? What grade are you in? Throw it in the chat before we wrap it up here, Aiden Wings. What grade is Calvin in? Cool stuff right there. Have a fabulous hump day. Fabulous hump day. Let's see if I can get my words right, huh, Katrina? Anyways, I appreciate you joining me. Remember, significant weather is going to be breaking out across West Tennessee, Memphis, Dyersburg, Jackson, Nashville. We are under a risk, but here's the problem. I just don't think we're going to see anything. If we were to get a thunderstorm to fire, though, it could pack a big punch. I just don't anticipate it. I'll talk much more about that on social media as well as we progress through the day today. All right, I'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. If you're joining me on the app and you missed some of the forecasts, the 24-hour channel is coming right back up at the front and center of the app. If you're on YouTube and all social media, we're going to be shutting this down here in just a few minutes. Of course, make sure you check back in for your noon update and your 6 p.m. update, and I'll keep you posted and see what these models do. Do we have a chance for seeing thunderstorms here? What's the significant weather looking like out west? Track it with the East Tennessee Weather app. Scan that QR code and join me on all East Tennessee weather platforms. Have a great day. We'll see you back here for tomorrow. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning for Wake Up with Witcher, starting off at 6 o'clock in the morning. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Life is short.